Welcome back to Switzer on Australia's Business Channel. Imagine an investment fund that is not only inspired by Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessey, but is actually owned by Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessey. Ravi Thakran is the Managing Director of L Capital Asia, and one of the recent acquisitions was the iconic Australian company RM Williams. And Ravi joins me on the program. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hi.
I was very interested when I learned what L Capital Asia was about. But in your words, what does it do?
Look, L Capital Asia is a very unique private equity fund in which capital is a secondary piece. We're all about adding value to companies in Asia Pacific. You know, the Western companies have been famous for innovation, creativity, and brand creation all this while. When you think of a luxury brand, it almost always meant a Western brand,
Yes.
a French or Italian, sometimes American. But you would rarely think an Asian brand or Asia Pacific brand. We as L Capital Asia are all about building the bridge, transferring the skill sets, transferring the knowledge and the value add to companies in China, companies in India, companies in Southeast Asia, and also in Australia, on all the things like innovation, creativity, product development, also store design, visual merchandising, etc., so that they can really build the brand to the same level as Europeans and Americans have been, so they can build a bridge to the global level.
Help my viewers understand LVMH, because Louis Vuitton, people think, you know, the bags, the shops that we go into. Moet Hennessey, we think of champagne. But tell us what that business looks like nowadays.
Look, LVMH is the world's largest luxury goods company, and then it has 69 brands, phenomenal heritage, but company is actually very young. It's only 26 years old company. And Vuitton, not many people realize, was only $145 million business when we acquired, and today it is above $10 billion business. Sephora, DFS were all small companies, under $1 billion. Now multi-billion dollar businesses with phenomenal profitability. The group is famous for one thing, that we have taken brands in their either dusty stage or early stage and built them into iconic stage. And that is the capability that we have built as a group that we are ready now to transfer to companies in Asia Pacific through a platform like L Capital. And that is something which is the most sought after. Today there's almost no fund with an X factor like ours, where we can bring this knowledge, this skill set, through an operating team which is phenomenal knowledge of brand building to these brands. And when talked about RM Williams, I genuinely believe that this brand has an incredible potential to take the world of Australia, the whole icon, the whole image of Australia to the whole world.
Yeah.
And we genuinely believe one day RM Williams will be a global brand, because the value through which we create Vuitton to be a global brand, or Dior, or Fendi, or Givenchy, or anything else to be with same values exist in RM Williams. We just need to tell the story more beautifully.
Yeah.
Present it more beautifully.
Well, the thing that shocked a lot of Australians, I guess 10 years ago, was when you walk down Fifth Avenue and you see UGG Australia. UGG boots were not fashionable products in this country, and now around the world, UGG Australia is a big brand. I guess RM Williams has the same iconic, legendary status, but has always been restricted to Australia. And you're saying that it has enormous potential to be an international brand.
Absolutely. In fact, much more than UGG. UGG was almost a fad that went on, and today in China you see all across, almost 90% of UGG is a fake UGG, etc. So in a way it is a bit of flattering for UGG, etc. RM Williams is a real icon. RM Williams is real heritage of Australia. RM Williams generally means Australia to the world. You know, the Chelsea boot that they create, the whole world of RM Williams today, whether it's United States, whether UK, whether it's Japan, whether it's China, anywhere else in the world, it really stands for the real workman boot the Australians have been so proud of, the culture the Australians have been so proud of. I think we have to just take the story beautifully out to the world. If we are able to convey that story, I think it'll be a worldwide icon.
Has there been an Asian brand that we didn't know about and that you guys discovered, and you now are developing that brand?
Well, there is, for example, a brand out of Singapore called Charles & Keith. We invested in that company just about 2.5 years ago when they had 135 stores, primarily in Southeast Asia. Today they have 440 stores, and we believe in 3 to 4 years from now, they'll have about 2,000 stores. This brand today is really what Zara stands for fashion. They stand that for the world of shoes and bags.
Okay.
And this is the kind of story that we like to repeat company after company, where we go in, we want to bring our value set for brand building, for innovation, for creativity, for visual merchandising, for store design, and all other aspects, which really make them comparative against any of the global brands.
Ravi, lots of fund managers have to have two views. One view is on the calibre of the business that they're investing in, whether it be a listed entity or a private business. But the other part of it is how amenable, how helpful will the external economy be? And so I'm thinking to myself, you would have to have a view on what's Asia, and particularly China, because your company is growing like topsy in China, but the power and the growth of China is going to be an important benchmark for your achievements. If China slowed down, you probably wouldn't make your benchmarks as quickly as you would like. So therefore, your view on what you think is going to happen in China is very interesting for me, because you would have a big interest in studying China. What do you think is going to happen to China over the next 2 or 3 years?
It's a very interesting question. In 1992, when we opened the first Vuitton store in a basement of Plaza Hotel, there was no hot water in the best hotel in Beijing.
Yeah.
That was China then. And today, China has some of the best hotels and then best of the buildings and best of everything in the world. But look, today, the hottest news across media is that China is slowing down. Yes, it is slowing down. The economy has gone from hot 10.5% growth to 7%, and perhaps going to go down to 6.5%. But the important thing is that China is moving from an investment-led and export-led economy to a consumption-led economy. And therefore, while investment and export-led economy may go from 10.5%, 11% to 7% or 6% or even lower, consumption is likely to grow. And that's where we are focused on. Today, China is 37% consumption-led economy, and their focus is to move it to 50, eventually 60% economy towards the American model. And therefore, while economy overall may slow down, the consumption part of China is going to grow at even faster pace. That's where we are focused. And to that extent, if Australian brands, Australian lifestyle consumption brand, whether in F&B or fashion, etc., instead of looking traditionally at UK and America, if they start looking at Asia Pacific, I think they'll do wonders. And China, as such, they should not ignore the overall dynamic of China, but should focus on the specific dynamic of the consumption growing in a big way.
And do you therefore see the income improvement for the average Chinese person to be increasing at a very fast rate over the next 3 to 5 years?
Absolutely. In the past 15 years, the luxury end of China grew in a big way. The Chinese in 2000 were only 1% of the overall luxury market. Today, they're 29%. 2000 to now, phenomenal increase. But we believe going forward, the real story will not be the luxury end, will be the middle class consumption. Till now, the 800-pound gorilla was the US consumer. If they sneeze, the world economy sneezes. But going forward, the big part of the global economy led by not the 800-pound gorilla, but 800-pound panda that is growing in China. And that certainly will define the world growth. And I think middle-class consumption, if you focus on aspirational, affordable, alternative brands which focus on middle class, I think they are going to be the real story going forward.
Because in many ways, this middle classification growth, the middle class growth, is not only going to help a company like yours, but should also help a country like ours that provides a lot of stuff into the consumer market, be it wines, agricultural, or foods and stuff like that, and tourism, of course, as well. So even though we will miss out the benefits of the mining investment-led side, as you benefit from your consumer brands, we have a lot of stuff that we can sell into China as well.
Absolutely. I think Australia has so much to offer. Today in China, if you go around and you see, one of the biggest issues is food security. Chinese do not believe in their own food, whether it's water, whether it is fruits, whether it's vegetables, whether it's milk or anything at all. Australia has a big name there. And I today we are, as El Capital, are very focused in finding assets, whether it's honey, whether it's water, whether it's good lifestyle restaurants or cafes and whatnot, because we believe that's the next wave.
So would you invest, for example, in a food franchise if you thought it was going to go mad in China? Would you invest in something?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's our key focus. And that's why we've invested in things like Jones the Grocer, Charlie & Co., Bicas Bakery, and whatnot. And going forward, we'd love to find good brands in all these categories. F&B in particular is a big focus area for us, because not only China, I really will say all across Asia, people are looking for hip and cool lifestyle consumption concepts. And Australia is absolutely the fantastic platform to find those concepts.
I noticed a Singaporean company just recently bought Gloria Jeans, and I guess your perception is that Asia's potential is extraordinary for anything that is hip and cool in Asia.
Absolutely, and I generally believe that Australia, though traditionally looked at UK and US as the next frontier, generally should look at marrying Asia Pacific, and that's the best thing. Mining was a great way to connect with Asia in the past. Going forward is the lifeline of Australia, which is hip and cool lifestyle of Asia. That's what Asians are looking for. Hundreds and thousands of Asian students who have come and studied here, have gone back, have carried a little bit of Australia with that in their heart. And today they're influencing their microcosm. If we can really bring Australia back to them in a big way, I think there'll be next revolution in making.
A fascinating picture you're drawing for us, Ravi. Thanks for coming along, and good luck. But I've got to say, a lot of people would love to have your job, going around the world looking for great businesses like that to buy.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you very much. After the break, what's bubbling below the surface of our booming housing market? And where have all the first home buyers gone? We go on the data trail with BIS Shrapnel next.